If I heard a lick that I like, I'd steal it.
This sentence from Michael Brecker has really inspired me. It's a small in-depth view on how Michael Brecker actually practiced.
I listen to things and then I learn them, or I hear them enough, and they get into my psyche, and then I distort the hell out of them.
Why not do as Michael Brecker? Steal some licks and distort the hell out of them. I want to find a lick I like, and then we steal it together. We learn it, and then we find out what it is. We add it to a tune, and then we start messing around with it. And let's add it to more tunes, more keys, and see how we can move it around and get really flexible using this lick. Remember, following this lesson and following what I play is so much easier and beneficial when you have the deep dive lesson manual next to you. You can read along, and while you read along, you can better understand what I'm talking about, because you can see it and actually add it directly onto your horn or any other instrument you're playing. Just pause the video, play the examples, play the licks, grab the deep dive lesson manual on Patreon. The download link is right below in the description. I have always liked Dexter Gordon. He's playing relaxed enough for me to follow what he's playing, and I can actually hear what he's playing and play it on my saxophone. And Blue Bossa is such a nice tune. It has a lot of the stuff we're working with every day, 2-5-1s in minor and major. So I start by listening to the tune, finding a lick I like. This is a great phrase, it sounds simple, and it's right on the 2-5-1 progression in the middle. So we already know where the phrase is because we are following the form of the tune. Listening to where this line is played, there's no weirdness to it. It's right on this F minor, B flat 7, E flat major. So he's probably playing some E flat major stuff. When we're looking into the 2-5-1, we know where it is. I will start by checking the chords, the F minor, the B flat 7, the E flat major. So looking into this line, we can pretty easily find out that he's playing this F minor scale just going up, and then in the second bar he continues to scale to that first note, the G, and then he's doing this up and down thing. The tone after this up and down thing is a G2. We can hear that those two tones are similar. You hear that too? So further in this up and down thing, I listen for the rhythm. What rhythm is it, and what's the top note? The top note is easy when he gets up. It's that B flat. When you have listened to it a couple of times, you also hear its triplets. So then you can add triplets between the G, the B flat, back to the G. Now we have to check out the rest of the line. The rest of the B flat 7 chord and the E flat major chord. Pick the low hanging fruits. The tone on the E flat major is really clear. It's just a big fat G, the third of the E flat major. Now focus on how we get to that G on the E flat. We're starting on the G on top on the B flat, going to the G low on the E flat. And when you listen to it, you can hear this is an arpeggio. What are the arpeggios in the E flat major key? Let's play them. When you have all these chords in view, look in the lesson manual, you can have them all in view. You see there's only one of the arpeggios starting on a G, moving down. That's the A flat major 7 arpeggio, descending. And now we have the whole lick. There are a few unwritten rules to transcription. Always write down and look for what you know first. When you already know certain things, you can open up for things you do not know, putting it in relation to each other. Pick out the easy parts and learn these first. Normally the end phrase is one tone and it's not cluttered up in all kinds of licks and stuff. And along the way, think in bigger terms like this is an arpeggio, this is rhythm, this is up and down, this is a scale. Then put a name to the phrase that you have a clear definition of the phrase, because then it's easier to execute. Now, there's no need to learn all these licks if you do not apply them into your own playing, so learn them well. Obviously, we need to put our lick into our own solo on Blue Bossa. Now put on the play along and play the lick where it fits. In the beginning, don't play before the lick because you need to focus on where to put the lick. Slowly, when you get used to playing the lick in that place, start adding solos around it. Simple solos. This full method is described in the deep dive lesson manual on Patreon. To get super fluent in hearing these lines, using these simple steps, the lesson manual really helps you develop this. You'll train the steps and you'll also train how to move the lines into new keys. This means you can move the licks in between the tunes you are playing. Grab the deep dive lesson manual on Patreon. The download link is right below in the description. Let's move on to the next tune. It's the wonderful tune of Autumn Leaves. Of course I want to start easy because we're picking the low hanging fruits. Start on the D minor G7 C, 2-5-1 in C. Let's apply our line to the progression. But how do we actually change the key? Let's look into this. We play the F minor scale up from the root to the 9th. We do the same in the D minor. D minor, play the scale from the root. And And then I want to take the easy parts we already know, because we know our arpeggios both in the E flat major scale and we know them in the C major scale. So we have that arpeggio going down from the G, the A flat, that's the 4th degree in the scale. That means we're playing an F major down in the C major scale. The last two things we need is the triplets and the end note. And always start easy. What's the end note? It's the 3rd of the tonic chord. So in E flat it's G, in C major it's E. And the triplets, they're moving from that E up to the root of the dominant, so up to the G of the G7. Now we have the whole line. Remember, you can look it all up in the lesson manual. That makes it a lot easier to follow. So we have the full line in a new key, starting with the scale moving up, the triplet moving from the E, then we play the arpeggio from the 4th degree, the F major arpeggio down, hitting that 3rd of the tonic chord, the E. The second step was place it into your solo. So when you are playing Autumn Leaf solo, add this lick immediately in the first phrase. Again, take it easy when you add more solos to it. In the beginning, don't add more solos. And then slowly add more and more when you get comfortable with the lick. Let's move it into a new key. Now we are working on the 3rd key. That means we are getting used to hearing the lick. We need to hear it well to transpose it. We need to listen to the line, to not thinking all this technical stuff, the 9th and the root and the 4th degree arpeggio down. Hear the movement and then play it in the new key. Let's try this. So when we're doing this, we put some words to our licks. We have a scale, we have the triplets, we have the arpeggio down, and then we're hitting the 3rd of the tonic chord. So we're starting with the easy parts, learning the scales of the new key. This is E minor, A7, D. Then we need the arpeggios in the new key. I play them up the scale like this. And now it's important that we add the names to the different functions we had in the lick. Start with the scale, add the triplets, add the arpeggio down, hit that 3rd on the tonic chord. Did you get it right? Keep repeating this process till you really begin to hear it. And you can take it slow, don't go in my tempo. Take it slow, take it many times till you really begin to hear this stuff. This is the most important thing, hear what you're playing. So why did I choose the key of D? Because now we can play it on the tune, take the A train. Play a simple solo and put in the lick on that 2-5-1. Let's move into what Michael Brecker said.
I listen to things and then I learn them or I hear them enough and they get into my psyche and then I distort the hell out of them.
Distort the hell out of them. How do we do this? What does he mean? Well, he means change the licks into something new. I like to change the licks like this. I keep a big part of the licks, the beginning and the ending for example. And then I change what's happening on the dominant chord, the A7. In this way, it's very controlled what I do. I know some of the part. I can relax in those parts and then I have to think a lot in the new parts. So what I need to focus on is how I get from the top of the dominant chord down to that low 3rd in the 3rd bar. In this version I do a simple scale approach, playing a quarter note on the first beat of the A7 and then moving the scale all the way down to that 3rd of the D major. Now make hundreds and hundreds of licks where you're filling in this A7 bar, how to get to that F sharp. The more ways you can do this, the better you get in maneuvering around these licks. And this is exactly what's happening in the Deep Dive Lesson Manual on Patreon. I'm following exactly this method. Writing out some licks, naming each individual part of the lick, moving it around in different keys. I start with easy licks that are easy to follow, and then I move into more intermediate and advanced stuff. And of course, all the lines have descriptions of what I do that you can analyze it and move it into the new key. Grab it all on Patreon. The Deep Dive Lesson Manual takes you through all these steps. The download link is right below in the description. A direct link into this video is, did Michael Brecker and Chris Potter actually transcribe licks? Check the video here. Play music. Have fun.